Hey folks, I am back with another, this one I think will be a shorter update, but to talk about the actual conversation that I had with my oncologist about next steps now that my PET scan results are back. And so sure enough, and as I talked about in one of the last couple videos, that the PET scan results showed continued cancer growth in spite of the immunotherapy that I've been receiving. It wasn't in any new spots that they could see. That spot on my lung and my liver is too small right now to show up on the PET scan. So right now that's just going to continue to be considered suspicious, and we'll keep our eye on it. But as far as the metastasis in the bone, that has continued to grow and to spread, which also explains my increased pain that I've been having, and all of those things. So I got a phone call from my doctor, and we chatted, and he, was regretful that the immunotherapy hasn't, done what we had hoped it would do. He was hopeful that there was a spot on my last PET scan that showed some cancer on my adrenal gland. That hasn't grown. So that at least is a positive. But because everything else has continued to spread, he does feel like we need to change strategies. What he would have liked to see happen is that there was a clinical trial that was going on that gave 2 different immunotherapies at the same time. I'm not sure which 2. To see if basically by bombarding the cancer with these 2 different therapies, it could overcome the resistance that the cancer has formed toward the immunotherapy, which is essentially showing why my original immunotherapy, the Keytruda, isn't really working. My cancer has some kind of resistance to that. So the clinical trial is to try and break through that resistance. Unfortunately, they are no longer accepting new patients, or at least that's on hold right now. So I can't do that. So he's going with the backup plan, which he was hoping to kind of hold off on as long as possible, because there's a caveat to it. It's really, really beneficial and very effective, but not forever. And everyone is different. And so I've talked before, there's different, within melanoma, there is a special mutation, and it's and I don't remember exactly what it stands for, but it's called the BRAF mutation. And if you have the BRAF mutation, which I do, essentially that means like the cancer is a bit more wily. It spreads, it can spread more aggressively and faster, but there are some dual medications that you can take orally and not in an infusion like I've been having before. So this is something that I can do at home. And it will specifically target that mutation to stop the spread of the cancer. Now, the downside, which is why he was holding off, is while it's very, very effective usually, he even said that it can start impacting the cancer very quickly. It doesn't always last, that the cancer eventually will find a way around it. That mutation will eventually learn, and the medication is no longer helpful at all. And you have to find something else at that point. And that could be a year. But I've talked with some people in an online community I'm part of with melanoma patients and caregivers, and there are some people who have been on this medication for 5 years, and it's still effective, and their cancer is gone, and it's still working for them. One woman who I posted kind of an update about what's going on, and there was one woman who said kind of the same thing just happened to her. She was just put on the BRAF medication last Friday, and she had visible tumors like that they were of course under her skin, but they were large enough that you could like see them, and they were very uncomfortable for her. And she started last Friday, and within about 5 days, the tumors had shrunk. So the chances that that's going to happen for me, I have a feeling, are not nearly as good, just because I don't want to get my hopes up too much. But the stories are there, and there's a lot of people who have had some very, very positive things come out of moving to this therapy. There are some side effects. One of the most common is nausea. Yay! Which I've already been dealing with, so more than likely I'll probably continue to deal with it. Itching and a rash are some of the other common ones. And then fever and chills. And that's an interesting one. I'm hoping that doesn't happen for me, because fever and chills suck, if any of you have had to deal with that. And if that happens and it's like on a weekend when my oncology office is not working, I might have to go to the ER just to make sure there's not something else going on. So yay, ER trips. I'm hoping it won't come to that. For the most part, it sounds like most people handle this medication pretty well. And so my fingers are crossed that I will be the same. And that it will take effect quickly and it will last long. It doesn't mean that we can't stop it at some point if like the clinical trial or if something else comes up as an option. And so like I said, there are, in one of the previous videos, I still have lots of options out there as far as treatment for this cancer and to try and kick its butt. So right now I'm hurting and it's still spreading, but hopefully within the next week or so, I have an appointment on Thursday to meet with a pharmacist to go over all of the specifics about this treatment. And I'm hoping we'll be able to start taking the medication at that point as well. I would assume I could, but timing, we'll see. Yeah, so that's where we're at. Again, I'm not positive which combination of the BRAF drugs I'm going to be on right now. I haven't seen those names yet, but I'm optimistic, which is something that I feel like I haven't been feeling a whole lot recently. And even my oncologist sounded more optimistic than he has in previous chats that we've had. So that's nice. So, that's all I have for you today. Shorter video than, well, actually, I thought it was going to be short-ish, but not too short. We will see what the next video brings. I'm hoping it'll be an update, and I've been like on this new medication for like a week, and I'm already feeling great. We'll see. More than likely, it's going to be an update about the palliative care and what I learn about the radiation that I'm going to be having. I'll also find out more about that this coming Thursday, and what that's going to look like. I think I'm going to be a busy girl. More than likely, it's going to be some long trips out to the center every single day. But I don't know for sure. So I'll give you an update once I know. And other than that, I appreciate you guys. Be kind, make good choices, and I will see you later.